Same.
Action.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on, players and
This
playettes?
is
I
nobody's
gotta raise my
podcast.
angle up.
I gotta brand the show because you guys don't know how to do that. I guess this guy's getting up to get snacks. Stan is drinking tea.
I just gotta change my angle because
For once, I'm actually just sitting.
This is the Nobody's Movie Review Podcast. We are nobodies and we watch movies and we review it. And this is a podcast. Welcome.
And a show.
Today, we are discussing the American Skin movie.
I
saw it. Stan, did you see it?
I did.
We all should have saw it, I guess.
We did.
Right. We saw it. I'm the one that actually saw it first. And
True that.
I convinced you all to watch it because I felt it was very, very good, very powerful, and relatable as an African American male.
Can I just say I was ready to hate it? I was.
You were?
I was ready to hate it.
You know what?
Right up until the end. Right up until the end. And I was like, all right.
All right, Chanel, give a brief synopsis of what the movie is about.
Okay, so
or the spoilers if you guys are first time tuning in. We do spoil the movie, so if you haven't seen the movie, please don't watch this.
Pause here, go watch it, come back.
Yeah.
So American Skin is about a war veteran who is seeking justice because his unarmed son, who was 14 years old, was murdered by police during a routine stop.
African American.
African American, yes.
Starring Nate Parker.
And his name is my name. He has the same name as me, kind of.
Yes, his name is Kadeem.
He's running Kajani.
So, since I've already seen it, I'll give my best review last, if you don't mind. But you guys, tell me what the fuck you think of that movie.
What did you think of the movie?
Well, he said he was gonna go last. Let him go. Let him go last.
Why does he want to go last?
I don't know because I
he
think
wants to save the best for last.
He's the one who made us watch this. I think he should go.
Well, I think
I
think he liked it more than all of us did.
That's not true.
Really?
I cried.
Well, because he recommended.
Not gonna lie. I had a little Denzel thug tear. I did.
Yeah, for real.
For the person that I didn't expect to have the tear for it too.
Same.
So, one of the most powerful scenes, not powerful per se, but one of the ones that I knew it was like the turn of events was when the journalists, the young kids, the group of kids that were filming and it came to the man's house about his son all these years later after they've been they're going back and forth to court, and they asked him, we're gonna go drive downtown to go pick up something from their uncle's house, something like that. Nate Parker was leading them on to something else, and he had started this whole thing in his mind like he was going to do it, fuck it, because they had just acquitted those cops who killed his son. So when he comes out of the house with the police chief, I was like, yes, get that motherfucker, because
I was like, I'm with this right here. I'm with all of this.
As a black police chief, I felt as though, and maybe it's just the African American in me, but I felt as though he, as a black man, should have been more sympathetic about the situation.
Yeah.
Because when he came to their house, he was asking them to calm down and we're trying to help with the white people in the doorway. Yeah. It was like he was a fucking slave to the system himself.
Yeah, he was Uncle Tom.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll stop there and I'll leave it like that part right there was like, that shit had my heart like, yeah, because I knew he was going to do it. I just know Nate Parker as a director and a producer and as an actor, ain't no way he was going to do some punk shit.
Did you watch a trailer before you watched this movie?
No.
And that's what makes the movie better to me because I didn't see no trailer.
I didn't see a trailer.
What was happening. I didn't
know. I heard about it, but I never got to watch it. I heard people saying about it when it dropped on Twitter. It was a lot of people on my feed just talking about it, and I was like, damn, I really got to get a chance to watch this. my pivotal moment in the movie was when they're all sitting there with the convicts and the regular people, and he allows them to speak their mind.
I thought
about
that was, I didn't like that.
why you didn't.
When there was the judge and jury?
Because it turned in, it turned.
Talking about the jury.
No, I like that part because there were things said that all different races felt about each other.
Well, that's what I didn't like about it.
I didn't like that part. I didn't like that part.
Well, that's you're gonna get your chance.
I wish they just did a whole trial. Like
you are going to get your chance to speak.
Go ahead.
I thought it was very pivotal because it's a lot of things that people want to say that are afraid to say it, especially cops. And the fact that these cops literally said, you Black people, of course, we're going to judge you because of the music that you think about.
Not all of them.
One of the convicts said, but y'all buy our stuff and y'all listen to our stuff, y'all buy our stuff, and y'all feed that stuff to y'all kids. And your kids are the ones that eat it up. You know what I'm saying? And then when it came to the Latino community, you see the woman. Mm-hmm. You see one of the convicted men who is Latino speaking to the other Latino who was a cop.
Now, hold on, right there. Mm-hmm. Did y'all have subtitles on that part? Because I didn't understand what he was saying.
No,
that part of the movie.
I understand.
I picked up a word or two.
I understand
purposely
Spanish
done.
To speak it.
It's purposely
and majority
done.
of what he's calling him is like, you're a disgrace to our community, you know, basically saying like, you know, he called him a punta and all that stuff, basically saying like, you know, you sitting here and you with them and you don't even like, this is us, this is our community, and you're siding with that, knowing how it is in the Latino community as well, you know? And then you also find out that the Latino cop, the lady cop, is Latina, right. And she's a woman. And so she also got to speak her mind as well as a woman in a cop field. And you just hear like the white people, the white cops just talking about how they immediately target Black people. Like at the end, you find out the only reason why he the only reason why he stopped that man and his son was basically because they were Black.
Because they were Black
and driving around in a neighborhood that they allegedly didn't belong in. And there was your answer right there. Because that is legit what goes on in this day and age that's been going on for years about them targeting Black people for no reason.
That scene, all those scenes and when they were doing the trial is what I didn't like, because it's cool because that's what you would like to happen, but realistically that's not what would happen. You get a bunch of people like that together, like no one's gonna listen to each other. No, like because I have these conversations all the time. I have a lot of white friends that feel the way they do, because, and like especially the part where the guy was like, I know I'm not racist, you know, whatever, blah blah blah. I have a lot of white friends that say that, and let's be like I'm not gonna sit here and call my friends racist, but I mean, just because you have a Black friend, that doesn't make you not racist. Like, who was it? Donald Glover. Like, Childish Gambino has a line where it's like, "You're not racist because you watch The Wire." You know, that doesn't, just because you see these things, or you have Black friends, or you listen to hip hop, that doesn't make you not racist. What makes you not racist is, realizing that you have privilege and you do things to address that privilege. So that part kind of felt very preachy and like, not like it didn't feel realistic to me.
I didn't.
What was your favorite part?
Well, I would disagree with that, because in regards to the feeling realistic, because that was an opportunity for us as viewers, although it was a movie, to tap in to the mindset of some of the white Americans out there and some white American cops.
I understand that, but they could have did it. They could have did it smoother. Like they could have did it smoother. In the form. They could have did it in the form of a trial, and the way they were explaining.
That was a trial.
They wasn't, because it didn't get there was no defense. So if they wanted to show the
Latino cop was defending the victim.
If they wanted to show the police perspective, right, They didn't have to have this open discussion. They could have just
That's what it was. Yeah.
let them do the defense, and we would have, as an audience, us watching, we would have saw everything that they were saying. You didn't have to go into this back and forth and argument like a podcast situation.
Because
It wasn't. That's how it happens. But hold up, lawyers.
No, I think that
lawyers argue all the time.
Not like that,
right? But it wasn't.
Of course, it was a free form.
I think because there's a part where I call him Juice because he played Juice on Sons of Anarchy, but there's a part was like, since when does the jury get to speak? Like, he's right. In a trial, the jury
doesn't get to speak.
Wouldn't speak.
But hold up, guys, hold up. You taking it too literal in regards to a trial.
It has to be a trial.
Like, it can't be, because in a perfect world, hold on, because this is the view on. This is the whole reason of the movie. As a black man, right? You won't, or you will not ever get a fair trial. Therefore,
but that's why the convicts and the people were there. Because
that's why
there's convicts trialing police officers. That's not a fair trial to begin with.
Actually, it is, because they
You're siding with the cop.
see.
You sound like a fucking cop.
As you could see, as you could see in the part of the movie, one of the convicts get up and says to the cop, "That's why you arrested me, because you arrested me because I was black." But that's because if the cop didn't say we arrest black people, like we target black people, then it would have never happened. But because
I'm just saying, as a movie, the way that was executed was bad to me.
That would not have happened. If they would have took that to a real courtroom, it would have never. They would have chose the cop side again.
Not a real courtroom, but they could have did it a little smoother.
How realistic can you make it?
It was a little corny. It was a little cheesy. It was cheesy.
I understand what you're saying.
That wasn't cheesy at all.
That was
cheesy. I
think
they could have expressed those points like to the viewer in a different way. They just talked it out like it was fucking. What's that nigga name? What kind of movie? Like Mallrats and shit. Like, they just started talking, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
There was control. He controlled the whole situation.
No, but it was just it went to a trial, to this whole open stupidness. It became like a podcast.
He let them speak.
He let them speak.
When do you ever get a chance in a courtroom to let people
to really speak truthfully like that?
But that's the point. That's the point.
The point. The point of the matter is, it's not going to be your typical. It's not this whole point of that part is, it's not going to be your typical courtroom. It's not going to be your typical people in a juror. That's the reason why they did that. It's because every time it's going by the law, every time it's going by the book,
it never works out.
It's not even by the. It was the ending, and like the movie was okay. It was cool. But
you
didn't get the message.
Execution of that was corny to me. It was.
You didn't get the message.
I agree.
The execution was corny. It could have been done a little better. It could have been done a little better.
How?
Just a little more tactical. Other than, like, it could have been an open discussion, but the way they was talking and just bounced around, shit was whack. Like, that's cool.
I think what they could have done, I feel like, was, all right, if we're gonna make it a trial, let's make it a trial, right? All right, boom. Instead of the open discussion, you would have had the Spanish cop, Juice. You would have had him bring up, witnesses.
You could have did it in a different way. Have everybody have
the witness was there in the background. He was there.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, but like, if you, this is what I'm saying.
The partner and the cop that shot the kid was there. They were both there.
Because the thing that I took away from it was, like, when you have these discussions in real life, and I don't know, maybe because it's a movie, it's different, but when you have these discussions, I don't think you're gonna change anybody's minds. I think people have.
They're stuck already.
But hold on.
They're stuck already. But the way
he changed his mind at the end?
I don't think that's the thing.
No,
I don't think
that Latino man
he changed his mind. Not the Latino man.
I don't think
Latino man did not change his mind. He just looked at him. And I think
about the white dude
that's the real society.
But that was because, but that was
because his mind.
But that was because he lost the trial and he almost lost his life.
No. It was
it did. That is why.
Hold on.
He called his wife. He almost got shot, and then he did that's gonna change your fucking whole life.
He didn't almost get shot. He didn't almost get shot. Hold on a second.
He almost thought he was
wanted to make
he was gonna die in that moment, Cram.
Did you see the question he asked him after he did all of that? He said, "Now you know how it feels."
Because
Yeah.
he showed it to him. That was a good execution of a movie. The discussion of the part does not like the whole back and forth between the Latino shit was unnecessary. It just
no. I'm going to tell you why.
I'm going to tell you why. For the movie. It does nothing for the movie.
The discussion is exactly what we're doing right now. Because that's exactly
because we are discussing the movie.
No. You're missing the point. The discussion is what we're doing right now, is what people do on a daily basis when you have people who are biased, people who have different point of views and stuff, is that everybody's not going to agree on the same page, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? But the discussions do occur, and the discussions do get heated, and the discussions aren't always right, and nor are they always wrong, but they do happen.
Chanel, but
the point that was made.
Go ahead, Cram. Go talk.
The point that was made was this: these cops kill a person of African American descent and don't understand why we get angry. So let me show you how it feels. Call your family, tell them you're not coming home. I'm gonna put a gun to your head and I'm gonna pretend, I'm gonna make you feel that you're about to lose your life.
Yeah.
Now I'll bring you down all the way down this level right here.
Yeah.
And now you're gonna feel why I'm so angry and hurt at the same time.
I agree with that part. I'm with all of that.
But that's the whole point. So when I'm saying
I really wanted him to shoot him, to be honest. If you want to talk my side.
I didn't want him to do that.
It changed him, though.
I didn't want him to do that.
No, but I wanted him to get shot. But the fact that he didn't get shot, I was like, okay, now he's going to change, and now you're going to see what the fuck he did.
But now, look, it was too late.
It was
too late. Because he said, can I walk out with you? He's unarmed. Boom.
Yeah.
Done.
Like I said, right up until that point. Right up until that point, because I was like, all right, I think like this is completely unrealistic now. This guy's just gonna fucking walk out of this. The cops gonna walk out with him, like, and they're gonna hold hands. Fuck out of here. And then he got shot in the head. I was like, okay, all right, cool, that makes sense.
No, it's not unrealistic.
That wasn't unrealistic.
What do you mean it's not unrealistic?
I'm gonna tell you why it's not. The only reason why that part in the movie is
just 2 days ago, a man was arrested for murdering 2 young girls and walked out of the building.
Was he white or black?
He was black with dreadlocks and tattoos on his body. This literally just happened Sunday or Monday.
Wow.
He was shot with a taser.
Oh,
he was on a 7-hour standoff with the police.
What color were the girls?
The girls were white or Latinx or Hispanic. There were 2 women, butt naked with bullet holes. He did not die. He got locked up.
Well, shot him with the taser.
I'm just saying, so it is realistic, and this is happening in the real world. But this is why. Remember before on the last week, I was telling you guys about Queen and Slim. No matter how innocent and how pure you yourself as a victim believe to be, when you're judged by the white man, quote unquote, you have no fair trial.
Hold on.
No matter how hard you try.
But in both Queen and Slim and this movie, the person who got shot was doing something stupid. I'm not gonna lie.
You said what? That's still a matter of
Queen and Slim and this movie. The person who got shot was still doing something stupid.
They
both pulled out their phones. So the more of the story is, stop pulling your phone out when the cop tells you to put it away.
No, you know what?
That had nothing to do with
honestly speaking, I actually agree with you on that part, because the father, as you recap, the father did have a discussion with his son about, if you ever get pulled by the police, just do what they say. And then you see that the kid just kept pulling out his phone after the officer said, put your phone down, put your phone down, put your phone down. And
why is that okay? Why is that okay?
It's not okay. It's not okay.
But you're saying you agree with it, and he did something
Mark,
stupid.
If you already know that you're being unfairly treated, you have to assess the situation. You can't just, I'm being unfairly. You can't just bug out, because then you're gonna get fucking shot. You have to assess the situation. Especially if your father is right there telling you, yo, put the phone, like trying to save you.
He didn't even get the phone out his pocket.
Same thing with Queen and Slim. Same thing with Queen and Slim.
No, he did get the phone out.
It was out.
It's the same
thing. That's why he said, put your phone down, put your phone down. But the thing about it is,
look, unfortunately, the where we are in society, if you get pulled over by the cops, your mission at that point is not to fight for social justice, not to. Your mission is to stay
Why
alive.
is that normalized right now?
Because that's
Americans
just
right now
That
it is.
was
Until
bullshit.
things
right,
change,
it is what it
we
is.
gotta
that's
do
bullshit. And
It's not. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree
And
with
you
you.
will be
I would
shocked,
never.
Your mission
I
at that
would
point is to stay
never.
alive.
I know my rights. I would
Right,
never.
So did
you also have the
Kajani.
right to stay
So
alive.
did the girl in Queen and Slim.
Your mission at that
those
point
were
Girl in
movies.
Queen and
Those
Slim
were
was a
movies.
lawyer.
At that point, your mission is to stay alive.
Yes.
Yep. That's
Shut
it.
the fuck up.
Unfortunately, when
shut the fuck
he
up.
has a point. Like Cram has a point. It's not right. It's not okay.
Right.
It's not
I
right.
don't agree with it at all.
But
my point is,
we all
when you're
know
in a situation,
as a Black community that when it comes to cops, just comply, just comply. Just to see another day. Just comply.
When are the cops going to be held
alive.
accountable for upholding the law and protect and serve?
That is not your responsibility. That is theirs.
This is why
so you can't take it upon yourself to put that law on the cop. They're the ones
who. It's the law. They signed a book. They signed a contract. They took an oath.
But
here's what I'm going to say next.
I hear you. I'm with you. But
here's what I say next.
They don't give a fuck, obviously. So why the fuck are we?
Here's what I say. It's like those cops need to be removed. But what I'm saying is this.
Yes.
I love watching the movies and videos on
all cops.
I watch these videos on YouTube
where
I watch these videos on YouTube where these open carry guys in open carry states all over the United States, right? They publicly they exercise their rights, their right to film, their right to carry, all of this stuff, and they fucking shit on police officers that can't do shit. And I love it because it's like, this is how it's supposed to be. When you're doing nothing wrong, when I'm recording you on my phone on a traffic stop, if I tell you to suck my dick, fuck out of here, all that shit, excuse my language, why are you upset? I have the right of free speech. I have the right to film the police. Mm-hmm. I have all of that stuff. So when I see these movies depicting like, damn, and then I have my boys like, yo, just shut up. You doing something stupid. No, I'm not. I'm doing everything my right.
You can't carry a gun. So I have no means of defense other than to shut the fuck up
and
fight it in court.
He's talking about the other
even
states.
Even if we did have open carry laws, look at Minnesota. Minnesota has open carry laws, and the same thing happened to Philando Castile. So like it's really a case by case basis.
Wasn't he pulled over?
Yeah.
Can I just also add that there's no such thing as black on black crime? There's no such thing as that.
There's no such thing. There's no such thing.
Crime is crime.
Crime is crime, right?
Crime is crime.
The reason people bring up black on black crime is because it's a tactic to reinforce mandatory minimums and privatize prisons. That's the only reason you do it. Because if you look at the vast majority of the prison populations, they're black and Latino.
You know why I had a thug tear for this movie? Because in the point where the cop was explaining himself.
What point? Because he explained himself like 3 times.
When he was really explaining it, like he was crying and he was like, "Yo," like he was really confessing. Like
you cried for that bitch ass cop.
What are you talking about?
You shed a tear for that bitch ass cop.
No. It's just a situation. It's like because I could understand how a cop could feel that way. I can't.
You mean when they go outside every day?
When they go out and they just want to go and he want to go home, and it's like, yo, I'm sad at both situations. It's not even just the post. Like it's all around. This is a crazy situation.
So do you believe the statement when he said that they are trained once they draw their gun, they're trained to escalate no matter what the situation? Yeah. Do you believe that's true?
I don't think that's true. No,
I believe that.
Because it's steps. It's steps. I know for a police, it's steps. The first step is presence. Just because they're there, that's a step one. That's step one. So they have steps that he just went from step 1 to step 6. Like he bugged out.
But so what he said,
I'm present. I'm asserting my voice. Like there's different steps that a police officer has to take.
What he said was true though. What he said was true, but he kind of said it a little bit differently. He said they're not trained. They said they're trained to not de-escalate. What he meant to say, what he should have said was, we're not trained to de-escalate. It's different. they're trained to go from, like you said, they step 1 to step 2 to step 3.
It's a step system, yeah.
But they're not trained to de-escalate, which they're not. And a lot of cops complain that they get sent out to bullshit calls that they shouldn't get called. They shouldn't get called out for.
That's true.
Which is
that happens every time.
But like here's the thing. This is, and I've had this discussion a lot with people, with cops especially. Like when people started talking about defund the police, right? Like that, the verbiage was wrong. The sentiment was right. The verbiage was wrong. Because
defund is the proper verbiage, though.
No. Because if you think defund, you're thinking
that's y'all think that. Defund means take away funding and put it into something else. That's what defund means.
That's what smart people
doesn't mean take away the whole program. It just means you take away some funding 95% and put it somewhere else.
Can I just say something?
You ask 95% of the people that disagree with defund the police. That's what they think we're saying.
Yeah,
when we say
because they are automatically they're thinking because they see where it's coming from and they disagree.
Because and then if you ask most cops, if you really break it down, they would agree with it, because all it is, they think it's like, oh, you're taking money out of my pocket. No, we're making sure that you're there to do the job that you're paid to do. Instead of sending you out to deal with something that you're not trained to deal with, they're gonna send out someone who is.
And then when it gets to that point,
can I just say something really quickly? When we are talking about that de-escalation situation, that just this past year, Newark police were basically, they got credit for not one shot was fired the whole year on anyone that they arrested, which means cops can.
When did that person shoot up the Jew shit though?
What do you mean?
That was in
I thought that was in
New Jersey.
Yeah. It wasn't in Newark.
It wasn't in Newark.
It was in Newark. Okay.
All I'm saying is,
wasn't it like Paramus or something?
I think it was Jersey City.
Yeah, Newark, which is very hood. Not one shot was fired on anyone that they ever arrested, which goes to show you that cops probably do know how to not use their guns.
With proper training.
That they do know how to not shoot someone, shoot to kill. That they do know if a situation, of course, did get that high and escalated into a higher situation, that there are other forms of way of using excessive force without shooting someone. You understand what I'm saying? This movie brought that out too, with saying that you don't have to do that, that there's other ways you could do, that you could really get your point across without shooting someone to kill.
And we see it every time. We always see these white folks, we always say, wow, if he was black, they would have, because that's the sad reality. Like, if we always, like, when the BLM people, or whatever you want to call them, stormed the Capitol, they didn't make it past the steps.
They didn't storm the Capitol.
They attempted to. You don't recall?
They just protested in front of the Capitol. They did.
Do you recall?
A storm is what they did. They stormed.
But they
came with military gear. The BLM did not come with military gear. The BLM did not send somebody in and let them get tear gas and send them back. They washed their face and sent them back over. The BLM did not do any of that stuff.
When it was said that the BLM was going to protest, storm, whatever the fuck you want to call it, when it was said that they was going to protest at the Capitol, they had the fucking military on the steps. They didn't make it past the steps, is what I'm trying to say. But for months, when these Trump, Antifa, whatever the fuck you want to call them, was talking about storming the Capitol for months, they were escorted in.
Yeah, because their cousin works for the Capitol. Like, what are we talking about?
Why is that? But then that's what I'm saying. We always say, like, if they were black, it would have happened differently. And we
don't have black. Well, we don't have black people that are gonna support. Are black people scared to do what they needs to be done, or are they just? Because that's what I think. I think black people are in fear of doing something to that magnitude.
No, I think there's a million different reasons on why black people really do want to change the system. But there's so much work in trying to change the system.
People are scared. There's a difference between BLM and the NFAC, the not fucking around coalition.
I don't think it's
and the Black Panthers. Like, it's all a different thing.
Scared. I don't think it has mainly anything really. I don't think it has to do with being scared. I think it's actually multiple things. They could be scared, yes, and they could not be scared. I think it's just, how do you go about trying to bring light, or how do we go about shedding light about the amount of Black people that are killed by cops more than the amount of people that are different, other races that get away with stuff and walk away from stuff without being killed. And I think that,
how many movies have come out already? How many things have come out already about this? You think they don't know, or you think they care?
It
what
doesn't.
Because
The
by
movie's
now, if
not
you
gonna
don't
make
know
a
by
difference.
now, then what are we talking about?
no, no, no,
The
no.
movies. The
Actually,
movie's not
I
gonna
think
make a difference.
no, no,
I'm
no, no,
just
no.
saying,
I
if
think
by NFL, Jay-Z in the NFL, like
no, no, no,
I'm
no,
with
no,
Jay-Z
no,
in the
no.
NFL. Like, what
Squash
what
all
are
of
we
that.
talking about? Like, these
I'm
niggas
telling you
know,
right
they just
now,
don't care at this
after
point.
that Capitol rioting happened just this past month, I think that really opened everyone that is not Black's eyes to what really we've been saying for years and years and years about privileges and about how they get away with a lot of things. And I think
100%.
I
this,
disagree.
because no, because on every news outlet
I
that I
think
was
that showed
covering,
Black people that they don't care.
no. On every news outlet that I was seeing, they brought Black people up to the platform, and Black people was saying whatever they had to say, like Don Lemon, Anderson Cooper, they all had the platforms and allowed other people to really show you exactly what it's like to be privileged, exactly what it's like, the difference between Black and white. That Capitol storming that they did last month really opened a lot of white people eyes, and a lot of other people, races, different races from ours, about what we've been saying for years. So yes, reasons why we have Biden in office right now, trying to change and trying to make these laws and trying to make people understand we just really want to be equal. Not saying that you're ever going to really change people's minds who have already been brought up to hate Black people. You know what I'm saying? But I have to say this, like my uncle did tell me something, and brought a little light to me as well, is that there are some states where white people have never seen Black people in their life. So they don't know what it's like to interact
And
with a
those are
Black
the people
person.
that went to the Capitol, to be honest. They drove down there. They, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Probably
It's a
so.
you have
revolution.
people from all over the place going on there.
Come
Probably
on, white
so.
people.
But it
But
made me really
but
think that when
that's
white
why.
people say that they're afraid of Black people, it's probably because I'm not even trying to like joke about it or something or make a fun about it, but it is true that there are states that white people have never seen a Black person in their neighborhood. They've never come across Black people. So the things that they've seen or the things that they've heard, when they encounter a Black person, you are, that's where they probably become a little biased, and that's where they become a little defensive and a little aggressive, and they don't know how to act and a little scared of us. And I had to really open my mind to that because it's true. It's absolutely true.
But like, all right, I understand what you're saying, but I disagree to a point because, in terms of opening people's eyes, I think yeah, sure, people's eyes could be open, but I also think that there's a what do they call it? Like there's a distance there. Like it's like all right, yeah, I see it, but I don't really care. I think that's where we're at.
Doesn't
I think
affect them.
Mm-hmm.
right. It's like just like you're saying. There are white people in this country that have never seen a Black person in a neighborhood. Those it's 2021 at this point. If you don't know how to act around somebody you've never seen before, like that's I mean, there's a lot of people I've never seen. But I mean maybe not, but at the same time, if I've never seen a type of person ever in my life, my reaction isn't to hate them. My reaction is all right. I mind my business. That's the issue that I have really. It's that people don't mind their own fucking business.
But that's
That's
what
it.
that's what goes back to these behaviors are taught. Racism is taught. No one
Right.
is born
Right.
racist.
Exactly.
Racism is taught. When you
Yeah.
see this color skin, run, scared, hold your purse, lock your doors.
Right. Right.
It's taught.
Because the
So when
natural
they do
reaction,
see them,
the natural reaction to somebody you've never seen before, is either well,
curiosity,
I don't care, or I'm curious and I want to find out more. But it's never hate.
never, because hate is taught.
Because you
Hate
look
is
at look
taught.
at look at kids. You look at kids especially. Like I used to work in Borough Park, and Borough Park, A lot of Jews there, a lot of Hasidic Jews that have never seen black people before. When I would work there, I would go from building to building, running Wi-Fi, running cable and everything. The kids are gonna do what they're taught. So there are kids, they were little Jewish kids, little Hasidic Jewish kids that would come up to me and they were super nice. One kid, you know, I heard him say to his dad, "Why does that guy look like chocolate?" I swear to God, like I was sweating. He said I look like a Snickers bar or whatever. Fuck that kid. Little Jew bastard. No, but like there was like some.
Look what
like
you
some,
just said though.
Huh? Sorry, I don't know.
Steve,
whatever. Nah,
no.
he's like, never mind. I take that back. But
He's
no,
kid, he doesn't know what he's saying.
He doesn't know what he's saying. My bad. But nah, that because it all depended. You can tell which kids were the ones that were like raised by certain people and raised by others. Because there was one kid, I got into an elevator, and the kid asked me what floor I wanted to go to. He wanted to push the button. He didn't care if that was black or white. There was another kid that saw me with my tool bag, and he was grabbing my wrenches and like, "Do you need this? Do you need this?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm good." So like, you're right. It is taught. I can tell you, straight up. There are a lot of people. Me growing up, I grew up in before I moved to Queens, I was in a neighborhood that was mostly Dominican. Like I wasn't around a lot of different things. When I met Chinese people for the first time, I was like, all right, well, whatever, you're Chinese. It doesn't really bother me. But like, there are people that are grown up. There are kids that are raised to hate whatever isn't them.
Yes.
And I think those are the people that we're never going to reach. Those are the people, unfortunately, that also become cops. They also become judges. They become lawyers. They become Supreme Court justices. And this is why the country's in the divide it is. All these people that storm the Capitol, a lot of them do know black people, and they just don't care because they're in a position to help themselves and not anybody else.
Yep, that's me. I'm under the impression that they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they don't.
They already know. They just don't give a fuck.
That's
why the fuck
that's
do we?
Why the middle, the middle of that movie kind of like was unrealistic to me, because in that like even
it's just an argument. Like they not
right
they really
because
care.
you're never gonna change certain people's minds.
It's gonna take you to put a gun to their face and they telling them that they're
they're
not gonna make
it. That's
and then fucking not killing them for them to change.
Right.
You're gonna have to do that to all of them in order for them to feel that way.
I think that's one of the bigger messages of the movie, that it's going to take something that drastic.
It has to go to that level. That's why I say black people are scared to do what needs to be done in order to make real change.
I agree.
Because if you're not willing to take it to that fucking level that dude did for his son, then you're not gonna fucking change shit.
It's already been done in the past.
If he was to do what he did, we would be dead if every black person tried to do that.
It would be.
They were military.
It wouldn't even get that far.
They did they shit.
It wouldn't even get that far.
And when the black old dude got shot, he was willing to stay instead of fucking doing shit. Like they went to the level that it needed to get to. It wasn't like
I shed a tear for that too, because of what the uncle had said, is that I'd rather die seeing this.
Yes,
I've been living all
because
these
it's more.
years,
The fight has to be more important than you. The fight has to be more important than you. And black people, I don't think black people are willing enough to do that. They're too busy buying fucking Louis and doing.
Do you guys think
on
that
a broader scale?
Do you guys think that
broader scale, even on a broader scale?
Look
at Barack Obama. If Barack Obama got elected and said, "Fuck all this shit," black people get a stimulus, get that, like, and he bugged out, it would have changed fucking he would have been the Donald Trump for black people. We would have been bugging, man. White people would have been bugging like how we was bugging when Trump got elected.
But we had this conversation.
It takes that. It takes.
You gotta understand though, with every cause, there's an effect.
If Kamala Harris today goes, anybody who's from Jamaica, I'm Jamaican, you get free citizenship. The whole world would flip upside down.
Yeah.
The whole fucking
either way you flip it, it's gonna cause chaos.
We live in a world.
What is wrong with that? But what is wrong with that? Nothing.
Where no matter what you do, we live in a world where no matter what you do, you cannot please people, and that goes across the border.
You have to do crazy shit like that. You can't just play the line and think shit is gonna change. You gotta cut the cord. You gotta cut the cord. You can't just play the line and I'm gonna shake hands. I'm here for everybody. You can't be that way. Because it's not going to change in the end. You're going to get a Donald Trump effect. You're going to get all this shit.
Well, everything kind of goes back and forth.
You got to make a big change.
Everything
But the
goes back
big
and forth
change
because
doesn't just consist. But if you're saying you can't just do, can't be cool with everybody. But if you really are trying to make a change, that's why people need to take a step out of their box of mental thing
Yeah, but
and
if
just.
you see a disparity, you have to immediately fix that disparity. You can't ease the fix. You know what I'm
I'm not
saying?
saying you have to ease the fix. What I'm saying is, if we are all trying to be equally or on the same page, then you have to do things where it benefits everyone. And
Everybody.
that's where we have a problem, is because everyone in this world, and I mean world once again, is entirely selfish. This world was built on
It's not the world, it's just America.
killing. This
It's
country
just
was
America. I'm gonna keep it real.
this country was
no,
built.
no,
No,
Well,
it's
not
no,
just
not.
America,
Are you
but
crazy?
it's mostly
No, it's not.
America.
no.
Mostly.
Are you crazy?
I
Do
agree
you
with I
not
agree
hear
with y'all.
other countries and what crimes have been done over there?
Why did China
Do you know
create
a woman
COVID, but
got
they don't have it
stoned
no
to
more?
death?
Like, what are we
This
talking
you
about?
really no. This is why you need to really open your mind.
Why
A
did
woman,
China create COVID and they don't have it no more? Because when you shut shit down and make a dramatic
China does
change,
have it.
shit
China
gets
does have
fixed.
it. China
China does have it. They
definitely
got a
has
new
cases.
strand.
A new
China
strand.
definitely has cases.
Okay.
But my thing is,
But
like I said,
it's as high as America.
no, my thing is what I'm
Okay.
saying is this country was built on death. This country was built on killing. You know what I'm saying? So all we know from centuries is how to kill, to conquer. You know what I'm saying? But if we are really trying to be on the same page and stuff, then you have to do things where it benefits everyone. That's all I'm saying.
And I believe all African Americans, the majority of African Americans, want peace for everybody. No one, I don't believe that every African American wants to fucking riot and go crazy because it's gonna affect them. We know the long-term effects of it. Yeah, we'll be happy momentarily. We kill every cop or we fight back the cop, but it's gonna affect our people as a whole.
Is it going to affect it in the positive or the negative? That's what you got to see.
The negative.
Look at what happened on Wall Street.
If black people went out,
people stopped fucking around and made a dramatic change to the fucking Wall Street. People stopped.
Black Wall Street
we're not
now?
going to do this shit no more. Let's fucking do it. And look at what
Black
happened.
Wall Street now. They blew it up. They destroyed the whole shit.
But that's what needs to be done. So
it
people
can't
can
happen.
fucking come out and
that,
stop being poor. It has to be done.
Now you are the evil person right there. You are doing evil. You are the evil person right there because you figure that
evil.
doing
it's not evil. If somebody is fucking you over for this long, and the people who are being fucked, it's like fucking. It's the story of the what's the shit? This is the Prince of Egypt. Let's gather the slaves together and fuck up the people at the top and make our way so we can have peace. That's what it is. It's not about kumbaya and then making sure that everybody's these motherfuckers is fucked up. Fuck them up. Get them out of here.
I agree.
It can't happen.
Well, you're never gonna get peace that way.
Look at Harriet Tubman. Watch the Harriet Tubman movie. Let's get these black people the fuck out of here. I don't care if a white man got to die in the process, and that's it.
What were you saying, Dan?
I'm saying if you look at history, every time there's a revolution for the better of a particular group, it unfortunately it does come at a price. It comes with whether it's violence, whether it's people.
You have to be big enough to die
without
like
you look at every time there was some sort of positive revolution, it came at the cost of whether it's lives or whatever. Like, being Haitian, like if it wasn't, we like our constitution is written in blood. Our constitution is written in the blood of the French, like straight up. And like, look, say what you will, like Haiti has paid the price for it, still paying the price for it. But in order to get
they are their own shit. It's the same thing with people. We was talking about this in Miami. We was talking about this in Miami. It's the same thing. You rather be rich and live in somebody else's fucking land, or you rather have your own fucking front lawn.
Shut up. Go ahead, Dan.
But I'm saying that's the point. If you look at every revolution in history in any country, it always came like whatever freedom you wanted, whatever posterity you wanted, it came at a price. You like there's never like this. Let's call it what it is. 70 million people still voted for Trump. He lost, but 70 million people voted for him because our system is broken and you can only choose from one or the other. So like you're not going to change those people's minds unless you do something drastic. Like AJ saying, you have to do something to shake those people up, to wake them up. And I don't know what that is. I think like what you look at history. Like I think we really like Black people. We talk about it all the time, and investing in our own communities. We really need to put our money where our mouth is. Honestly, we really like and not talking about.
I agree.
Not talking about just buying, Black owned. I'm talking about completely separating our money, our investments from everything else. I'm talking about completely, like from every facet, completely removing everything we create.
We gotta stop doing everybody else. Pick something.
But that's
stop
the
doing
hard
this.
part.
Let's not do this. You will see it happen.
That doesn't just include us as regular people. These celebrities too get money from the white people. So
listen, I agree with you.
So
to
try to make a celebrity literally say, "I need you to cut ties."
Hold on.
And cut ties with this.
But this is what already is happening. But this is what's already happening. They're not going to
do it. Then
look. We cannot, this is what's already happening. I don't know, but fucking Jeff Bezos steps down. Why you think that is? Because he don't want to run the company. He just want to fucking make the money and chill. He don't want to do that. So he gonna go do something else. It's probably gonna be Bitcoin related or digital currency related. And y'all gonna see that's because he looked at the stock market. They're gonna say, damn, and look at Amazon stock. Amazon stock drops the moment he does that. So it's like the stock market is down. Why? Because the people have come together and say that this system doesn't work. It's just a thing. If the people come together and say, I'm not winning with this system, we got to stop this. We gonna fuck them up. Fuck they betting against GameStop. We gonna bet for GameStop. We gonna take all the money. Fuck them niggas.
Right.
Then they try to do shit and finagle, and then you see the system at work. They're gonna stop you. We not doing this. You're not doing. They're gonna try to hold you back, and people are gonna lose their money because of them, and they're gonna see, oh, fuck them niggas. We got to do this now.
Like perfect example. You look at the not to bring it back to Jews, but Hasidic Jews have their own shit. They have their own fire department. They have their own ambulances. They have their own hospitals. They have their own everything. Now it's a little bit different because they're very insular in a community that's very diverse. But they handle their own shit. And I'm not saying we should do that, but it's an example of what.
No, maybe we should though.
We absolutely.
But the because thing is, like, to bring it back to the movie, Black people have to make a change that's dramatic. So if we say defund the police, I don't give a fuck how they feel about it. I don't give a fuck what they think about it, what they think it is. No, this is what we're doing. So all Black people
in the United States of America, it's easily said than done. We can Black people in the world.
I just watched it happen last week. I just watched it happen.
But did you watch it happen with Black people?
We all watched it happen with GameStop. If Black people did the same thing.
We're not talking about stocks, bro.
All right, because that's where the life of the fucking country is. And you don't understand that.
No. Stan, what was you saying though about finishing up with saying like how they take care of their own stuff, the Hasidic Jews?
No, I'm saying they do. They're very insular. They're in their own communities. There's Jewish people that grow up in New York that don't speak English because they don't have to. And I think we can do the same thing. I think Black people can do this. Right. We can do the same thing. We can just remove everything, remove ourselves from anything that's not Black, and just say this is ours. We don't want you policing us. Here's our own police. We don't want you fighting on fires. Here's our own fire department. We don't want you in our hospitals. Here's our own hospitals.
If everybody in Harlem, in the building in Harlem said we're gonna buy our own fucking building, they could do it.
Simple as that.
Why?
Because we've done it before. We've done it before.
No unity. Exactly. It's people don't want. And people think that change can never happen, and it can.
No, and it can't. And the reason why is because we had this conversation on Saturday where I said us as a black, these conversations happen all the time. I've joined conversations. I've been in conversations where, oh, black people, we all need to get our shit. That's fine. But these conversations go on, but with no execution. And like I said, the reason why is because black people are selfish. We are selfish.
And on top of that,
I wouldn't go as far as
there's no black person in position.
Stan. We are.
I don't think it's. I wouldn't want to say that it's black people that are selfish.
I'm gonna give you a primary example on why I say we're selfish. Last week I did watch the stocks. Last week I did purchase some stocks, but I was watching men that are actually in finance in Clubhouse on Twitter saying how they're getting money with stocks, but won't give the black people the tip on how you get.
They won't give up the codes.
They won't.
But some people don't want to even do the knowledge that is necessary.
Right. That's so small scale. That's so small scale, guys.
No, but I'm just giving an example. I'm just giving an example of how we are selfish. If you want to collectively see black people win, especially financially, why are you holding out? Why are you being so selfish and keeping it to yourself?
But just to kind of pull it back a little bit, I wouldn't go as far as to say that's a black thing. I think that's just human nature. I think people in general just are that way because, from the reason I agree with you in that sense that black people are selfish and can be selfish is because that's what we're seeing from our perspective. I'm sure there are Spanish people that have that perspective within the other Spanish people, and there are Asians that feel that way about Asians, and Jews that feel that way about Jews because they're in those communities and that's what they see. So I'm not ready to say that it's a black thing, but I think it's more of a human nature thing because humans at their very core are selfish and want what's best for them. Once that's why when somebody does break out of that and they share with their communities or whatever, we hear about it because it's so rare because it's just a people thing. People like how many people felt the same way as Martin Luther King, as C.S. Whoever. Any civil rights leaders, every civil rights leader, a lot of people felt the same way. But the reason Martin Luther King or any other civil rights leader was considered an outlier is because they're the ones that actually did it. So I think it's not so much a black thing as much as it's just a people thing.
You got to just show people. You got to. But
hold on. The point I'm trying to make you guys understand is this: you got to look at the bigger picture. And I know you're going to respond, but I want you to just listen to me first. Who controls the government? What's the majority of the government right now? They're not brown. They're not black. Who controls the stock market? They're not brown. They're not black. Who controls the laws and all these rules and regulations in these communities that we live in? They're not brown. They're not black. We don't have anyone in position to set any of these things that we're talking about in motion. Defunding the police, controlling the stock market, cornering the stock market. We don't have the people in a position to do it. We have to build our people up. There are smart black people out there that can be president, that can lead the Congress, that can do the Senate and all that good shit. But we don't have the proper people right now in the position to make these changes. So being drastic and doing drastic things is only going to hurt us. No. And that's why the African-American man, the African-American people as a whole are feared. There's this post that I seen on Instagram, and it was this young lady. She said, "Why is it my fault that you are intimidated by me?"
Oh, I saw that. Yep.
When you walk into a zoo and you see a lion and tiger and a bear, is it their fault that they're intimidating? That's their nature.
That was on Embracing Black Culture.
You know what I'm saying? That we're naturally like this. We're naturally powerful people. And when you're scared of something, you cast it out. Mm-hmm. When you don't understand something, you call them crazy. These are all the stuff that we've seen people go through, like Dave Chappelle. You. But I'm just saying, but we have to, all of these things are good. It is possible. Have we had unity? Have we had the proper people in place? The little things that help one or two people.
The proper people don't need to be in place because we could displace the people that are there. That's how. That's by coming together.
That's what I just said.
This is what I'm trying to tell you. But this is what I'm trying to tell you about the stock market. That's what I'm trying to tell you about it. because that is exactly. Hold on, because that is exactly what happened. It's a group of people, thousands of people. They don't even know each other half the time. Some of these people don't even fucking know each other.
What's the
And they go,
majority in the stock market?
and they all on Reddit.
He's talking about.
Hold on, I'm talking about the stock. They all on Reddit came together and said, "We're not gonna take this shit. We're gonna put money. I don't care if you got $100. I don't care if you got $20. I don't care if you got $1 billion. I don't care if you got $1 million. We're gonna put our money on fucking GameStop, and we're gonna fucking shoot that shit up, and everybody's gonna make money. Everybody.
Who made money?
A lot of motherfuckers.
Everybody that invested.
Who owns GameStop?
It don't matter. That don't matter. When you own stocks, that doesn't matter.
You have to understand this. You have to understand this.
Right.
GameStop is owned by
market, then
whoever, right?
Then you can't combat this.
We got it. I don't want to talk about the stock market. That's not what we're talking about.
I'm talking about, but this happens picture. The same way.
You're just putting that money.
You can use that. I'm talking about the tactic. You can
use
understand
that tactic
what the stock in other ways. Is, you can use that tactic. If everybody lives in everybody lives in a building, right? Y'all all pay rent, right? If everybody in the building came together and said, "We're not paying rent. We're gonna buy this building from you, and you're gonna fucking give it to us," and we appoint somebody who we respect to be the new owner of the building. And we put our money into him. Hold on, we put our money into him, and he buys the building, and we get a percentage of anything that comes in. So what are we talking about?
It's not about
unity. That has nothing to do with stocks.
The fact that it's the stock market. It's the fact
if everybody that we know,
you get what
100 people,
just saying,
and we want to open a store. If
unity.
Everybody gives us fucking $100, we can buy something. It's just a simple thing.
There's people out there that do that, but not everybody's on the same mindset. Everybody's out to get it by themselves. The same way Chanel just said, she was on Clubhouse and niggas don't want to give out the codes.
That's the problem.
They're all about self. There's no unity.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the problem.
Niggas the scammers are up 50,000, 100,000 in clothes and material things, putting money in other white people's Versace, Saint Laurent, or whatever the fuck these peoples are, right? They're not doing shit for themselves.
If we was to say, who's the nigga with the fucking palm tree hats? That's a black dude, right? Doing that. If everybody said we're not rocking no other hats, but the nigga with the palm tree and the shit, it would change the game.
It shows.
No, but the thing about it is us,
but it doesn't change the whole.
And that's where we
do that. If everybody said, "I'm not wearing nothing designer except Kanye West," he would be the richest black man in fashion.
Hold on.
Look at Rihanna. Look at Rihanna. If women only said, "I'm only rocking Fenty."
I do. I support.
People say it like this. This is what they always say. Remember how they always say it's Blackout Friday, buy black. Don't spend your money on these other white people. Amazon, fucking Walmart, Target. Don't spend your money there. Bring it to the black people. That's how we gotta bring it back into our community. Because if we build up the right person, maybe they could change the world for everybody else.
The funny thing
it's not the case.
The funny thing is, Mark, is like if we talk about these little pockets of people doing these things, like you said, it's such a small scale. Like the subreddit.
You mean Palm Angels?
Subreddit is not a small scale. That was a big thing.
No,
that was a big fucking deal. They're changing the rules of Wall Street.
What I'm saying is this: is like we do these things. We do these things all the time and don't even realize it. And it's like even on a such a micro level, right? Like everything
podcast.
Goes back to, right. Everything goes back to sports with me, right? So like a couple years ago, the top 3 high school basketball players in the country, R.J. Barrett, Cam Reddish, Zion Williamson, they all got together and said, you know what, we're all gonna go to Duke. We're all gonna go to Duke. We're gonna win a championship.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
They all decided to do that. So that's such a small scale. That happens all the time. AAU basketball that's basically it. You have all these top players from one state or one area, and it's like let's all play together. And then they end up winning some sort of championship. All we have to do is look at those are 15, 16-year-olds that we can just look at that and say, okay, we can do that on a much larger scale. And eventually that's what happens. You end up bankrupting hedge funds. That's what they did. They bankrupted hedge funds, dude. Like, and this is what, like, even though, it'll probably eventually correct itself. What did happen is that you have a lot more people interested in the stock market now. And I know that's just one example, but it's like you have a lot more people that are thinking,
And then
okay,
you have all the stock.
They're only interested in it to gain.
Wait,
correct.
still,
That's the only
then,
interest.
but
it
makes a
least
shift
to make change in the world. They're into it for money, for gain. They're
at the very
self
least,
gain.
though, at least it's a shift in thinking. At least it's
Yeah.
a shift in thinking.
I actually
I'll take
retweeted
that.
something like that where I even tweeted and I said, I like the fact that Black people are talking finance more than any of the bullshit gossip that's going on right now last week. I thought it was so good to see people either learning about stocks.
Look how late we are.
Or
I mean, better
We're
late
so
than never,
late.
though.
It's better late than never having it.
No, but it's
now you
better
can
late
see
than
how you're
never.
getting fucked. Before you were just getting raped.
Right.
Now we can actually know.
Because I'll be honest with you, how many people didn't know what shorting a stock was?
They didn't know shit. They didn't know shit.
I have stocks. My dad
even people in the subreddit didn't know shit. They just said, "Okay, am I gonna make money? Yes, you're gonna do it. Just do it."
If you're not,
even if it's a fucking $100.
If you're not taught in a household, or if you're not learning from your friends about, let's say, primary example about stocks, there's books. If you want to know about it, there's tutorials, there's videos, there's all of that.
People don't read.
And that's the problem right there, is people don't read. I read a book. I make sure I read a book at least.
What are we talking about?
Huh?
Americans.
What are we talking about? We're talking
about. I'm just saying, like, in general.
My
thing about
bring it back to the movie.
My only thing is with the just real quick about that stock market thing is that it was really nice to see Black people either interested, buying, or learning, whatever they needed to do to learn more about getting their money up. The only thing about that part and the twist behind it is that when Black people did gain last week, Robinhood, TD Bank, all of them
now you see the system. Now you see the system fucking it up. But now it takes us. But now it takes us to file those class action lawsuits to shut these shits down and fix the system to where it comes in our favor. You don't just sit around.
This is not our game. This is not our game. This is not the Black man's game.
All right,
you playing the white man's game. It's not our game.
This is the world game.
Not our game.
Stocks is not just fucking Black people, white people. This is Chinese people. This is Africans.
Not our game, bro.
Nigerians is all in the stock market. You're not going to tell me
why can't it be our game?
I didn't say it can't be, but it's not our game. Look how long we've been.
It's not your game.
You gotta make it
different.
Right.
But the world is living off that. When Facebook goes public, everybody could buy in. That's the world. It's not just fucking America. It's not just fucking Black people, white people. It's not that. It's a world thing. Stocks is part of the world.
What are we talking about?
I just told you, Mark. I talked to you the other day about putting money into water.
Unity.
I just told you about that.
We're talking about stock. Black
water
unity.
I'll help you put money into water if that's what you want to do.
No, you can buy water as a stock on the market.
Oh, yeah.
That's all understandable. I'm not.
What are we because the water, they're shorting the water.
I'm gonna help whatever.
That's what they're doing.
Like Uncle said,
because there's water.
What are we talking about?
Money back into their community.
Hold on. I want to pull back to the movie real quick. This because I have a question.
Bring us back, Stan.
Do you guys think that the entire crew, and meaning
Ghost,
forget his name, the dad,
Ghost.
Yeah. Do you think his whole crew knew that the gun was unloaded?
No.
I don't think nobody knew.
I wanted him to die, to be honest. I was like, and then when it didn't go off, I was like, all right.
If he would have died, all of what he
did, then it wouldn't. Yeah, all of that would have made no sense.
Because and you're right. You know why?
I was with the black boy. I agree with everything. What's the black boy's name?
Oh yeah, me too. I agree.
I agree with everything he said in that jury room. Like I agreed with everything he said. If it takes this to make a change, then let's do it.
And this is why I think I think regardless whether he died, I think he had. I think
I have it.
I think if he had died, if he had killed the cop, regardless, it would have been for nothing. Because and we say it at the end. This is what
mute your mic.
You mute your mic, please.
This is what bothered me the most about the end, because not that I didn't like it, I understood it, and it bothers me about because this is where we are in society, is because when they talked about it on the news, what did they do? They immediately made him out to have PTSD. They said he had mental issues.
Yep.
They said he was a war vet, and then
they did the cleanup. It's called the white people cleanup.
Yeah.
To me.
Right,
Yep.
and they said he had ties to
Al Qaeda or some shit.
To Al Qaeda and Muslim radicalism. And then as soon as they were done talking about it, let's go to sports. And what did they do when they talk about sports? They were talking
about a black man.
Talking about a black dude they were gonna make money off of. Who, by the way, Monquavius. That I was like, there it is.
But that's exactly what's going on in this day and age. About how they just literally wipe your minds from what is really something so big like that.
Which is why I think that's another example of something us as black people need to take for ourselves. We need our own news. We need our own news.
We do. Diddy has it.
Does he really?
Black News, yeah, on Revolt.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But Revolt don't talk about.
But nobody watches that because black people don't support.
No.
Like
Revolt. No. Revolt is more gossipy, more now than ever.
You didn't watch Black News. You don't watch Black News.
I do watch Black News.
They had the financial episode, and they had black people talking about finances the whole episode.
What I'm saying is, there's more than just that one special thing.
No, Black News is specific though, but there's other shit on there. Yes.
What I'm saying.
But it's about black, and it's black. You're just mad at black people, what black people like sometimes.
What are you talking about? I'm black. Why would I? Why would I
get mad at it? Because black people like the gossipy shit, and you don't like it.
That's not right, because there's bigger things that need to be solved when it comes to the black community. That we're not worried about what Moneybag Yo and whoever else.
But some people like that. Some black people like that.
Huh?
Is that a real person?
Yeah,
Moneybag Yo is a real person?
Yes, that's a real person.
Oh God.
What I'm saying is, I always tell you this: there's bigger fish to fry when it comes to black people. We want to be collectively together, but there's so much work that needs to be done.
And nobody wants to do the work
within our own home.
And nobody wants to do the work. Nobody wants to do the work. You're right.
Within our own home, where it starts with your family, the people who are raising you, and how you're being brought. It starts within your own home. You can't do anything until it starts with your own home. You're being, and that's where it starts. If you're not being taught how to go out into society and live and try to be in the white man's world and do the things in the white man's world, how can you ever do anything? You have to.
When you bring that up to people, right? What do they say? Who taught me? I'll be honest. I'll make myself as an example. My mom talks about. She always yells at me, "Oh, you don't know how to save. You don't know how to do this. You don't know how to do that." And then I'll tell her, I was like, "Well, you never taught me how to do that." And then her response to me is, "Well, who taught me? I figured it out." So my family is a perfect example of that. You know,
but that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying is we need to change that narrative.
I agree. If I'm lucky enough to have kids, I'm gonna teach them the things that I learned so they don't make the same mistakes that I made.
My whole issue when it comes to us, I see everyone talking about, break generational curses, do this, do that, and stuff. Well, you can and you should, but if you don't, then it will never get done. You want to do
too many
all of
people
that.
aren't willing to do that. Too many people aren't willing to.
But that's my point. My whole point is that it has to start in the home with whoever you know, or whoever you're dealing with, your parents, your higher ups, your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents, and all stuff, that you can change the narrative. We're living in a day and age where majority of stuff is digital, where you could find stuff online, where you could read, where you could watch TV. We have so much access to all the information that we need, and we don't use it. That's my point.
All right. I just Googled the least populated state in the United States. It's Wyoming. I think all black people just fucking move to Wyoming. We take it over. Just take it over. Take it over. Just like Tulsa, Oklahoma. We had Black Wall Street in the early 1900s. We need to do the same thing. Do it again. Do it again. Because if you really think about it, everything, not everything, most things that people enjoy, black people created. We're like, if we really, really did unite,
Absolutely.
we're never
Honestly,
gonna.
if you took black
We're never
people
gonna.
away from, if you took us away from everything,
Like we're like really on
designer.
some Wakanda bullshit.
No. I always say that. If you took black people away from every designer, every sport, every music, every movie, every car, or every
Nothing.
clothing and stuff, they wouldn't have nothing. And I always say that. But
Black
once again,
people revolutionized alcohol. Alcohol, dude.
mm-hmm.
Black people, all the people that love fucking whiskey. This black guy. Black guy basically revolutionized Jack Daniels.
Right?
Nobody talks about the fact that a black guy. Yeah, sure, we'll give credit to the black guy that created Hennessy. But how about the black guy that created his own version of Jack Daniels, but nobody buys it? I forgot what it's called. I'll find out.
Right. But that's
TikTok.
my thing. My whole thing is I hate this as well. Is when black people see someone coming out with a clothing line and stuff, why are we so skeptical? Why are we so scared? Why are we so? But that once again,
because of what?
The
popularity. It's not popular.
Exactly. And who does that start with? Why are we so built on the popularity stuff instead of your man's just dropped a sock line and you don't want to purchase your man's sock, but you'll purchase a pair of Louis Vuitton.
Right. Exactly.
Everybody don't have it.
It's a mental thing. My thing is what I'm saying is it's a mental thing with us. We got to have this designer thing in order to validate ourselves.
Well, to be fair, I think if the right people, because like Mark said, it comes down to popularity. If we found if there were black celebrities that were willing to put themselves out there like that,
there are.
And
I'm gonna keep it real.
But your man's is selling socks. Why you not making your man's joint
I'm gonna keep it real.
Who's selling socks? I like socks.
I'm gonna keep it real.
I'm just saying
is
in
your
general.
Man, people are unorganized, and is your man that's selling the socks really focused on socks and doing it? Or is he just trying to, I'm selling socks now, you know what I'm saying? Then the next, in like 3 years, you're right. This nigga is not selling socks no more.
It shouldn't matter.
You know what? I'm a chef now. It's so like what? You got to, but the thing is like this. Kanye West been trying to be in fashion for 12 years.
He bullied his way in.
Started putting fucking Yeezys, the Yeezus.
He used his music to get through.
Yeah, but before he
bullied his way into the top.
But hold on. That's music. He was doing music since a child. Then he got Jay-Z. Then he proved himself to Jay-Z. But all that time he was trying to do fashion. But it took that. But it took
fashion is fucking trash. What are people buying? They're buying his name.
I'm done.
Versace.
You have to build your name.
They're buying the name before
they're
you not buying what it looks like. They're buying the name.
All right.
Hold on.
It doesn't matter what it looks like at that point because you are banking on this person's name.
It's popular. The nigga Kanye West sells a brown shirt that says Yeezy for $3,000.
The perception, but it's not black people buying
brown
it.
Shirt at H&M for $12.
But it's not black people. It's not all black people buying it though.
But
you put the perception out there of the quality.
Sold a shirt full of holes for thousands of dollars.
You're missing
because it had his name on it.
You're missing the point of what I'm saying.
Cotton T-shirt.
You're arguing with me over shit.
Thousands.
You're arguing me over something that you're not.
Popularity. If my man's selling socks,
why did it get
wearing them?
Why did it get popular, Cram? Why did it get popular?
Because he's a rapper. He's a famous rapper.
Okay. Why did he become a famous rapper?
Because he knew famous people. He was in the right place at the right time.
Right. He was at the right
place. It was a long time coming.
I worked for his cousin. It didn't take him he was still in the right place at the right time, and they still said no.
Who knew Kanye West before he came out with Jay-Z?
We did a whole interview with
me
and you, Cram. We sat in his house.
A rapper.
We sat in his house.
Producer. He was a producer.
About how they used to go to
made him
and stand on fucking.
There was stages to it. It happens. I'm not saying I'm not trying to shit on his growth.
Let him say.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying they're buying his name because he's a popular person. That's it.
But it takes work to get to that popularity. Your man Joe Schmo selling socks
and money.
But your man Joe Schmo selling socks, he can't. We could back him, yes, but it takes Like you gotta do it for a while.
Yeah, you do.
You gotta do it for a while in order to get the
I agree.
popularity and the shit that you're looking for. And
Yeah,
I'm telling you
100%.
from experience from working with black people that they give up very easily.
I'm telling you from experience.
And they go on and they
my
go,
own
I want to be a
day
chef
and
now.
age.
And it
primary
takes it's like
example.
2 years.
Take me
And
primary
you want to be a
example.
chef. It takes 2 years, and now you doing garbage. And now
I'm
it takes 2
literally
years
trying
to
to put the work in with my cooking class, and I'm literally behind closed doors trying to make it better and stuff. It's not easy. It's not easy starting a business.
And you just got to
It's
keep
not
going.
easy. But if you have a collective amount of friends, a collective amount of family, a collective amount of peers that will be like, you know what? I'ma just keep putting money into this person's pocket.
Henny Palooza. Perfect example.
I remember when it first started.
They put their own money into it. It was a free concert.
It was
and then
free.
2 years later, they charged and made thousands.
But the thing is, you have to build that popularity. It didn't just happen. They was doing that shit for like 5-6 years, Cram.
Yeah, they was doing it in their house.
It didn't just happen.
It did.
It takes quality. No, but they wasn't putting
quality.
Shit out, putting out a stupid flyer.
It was Hennessy.
Hold on, Cram. They didn't just put out a stupid flyer and come to my party. No, it took quality. Let's get the best photographers to come out and shoot.
It wasn't. Hold on a second.
Let's put $1,000 in this person's hand because they're gonna bring back good pictures that people gonna want to look at when they come back. Let's put a video together.
Is only how many years old?
Quality time and money in your own self to make a thing.
It was a risk. It was a risk.
It's not about
they capitalized on it. It happens. It's a 50-50.
The whole point about it is the whole point that Space Ghost is trying to say is
about
that
the work.
In order for your stuff to pop, and I think when it comes to us, is that you have to put the work in. If you are a dedicated person that's trying to sell your album,
not one person did that.
No.
Easy did not do that by himself.
We're not talking about that. Just
Henny
in general.
Palooza did not do that by himself.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about in general.
It's support. It's
the
funding.
The product.
It's push. It's drive.
But this person didn't take that. You can easily make something
Chanel.
Good. Hold on, Cram. You can easily make something good, and then it'd be terrible later because you took that money and didn't fund it.
Chanel.
You took that money and you bought.
How many people can you count on your hand that have given you money towards your cooking, provided you with maybe cookware, recipes, and food? How many people on one hand has contributed substantially enough to your purpose?
I have a lot, actually. And
on one hand, on your one hand, just tell me. Is it more than one hand?
Yeah, it's more than one hand because I have my family and I have my friends.
So now on a frequency basis, how often is it? Maybe let's say if 10 is the greatest, like every single day or every single time I think of it, it's thrown out there. But like how often, how frequently are they supporting you?
When I drop my class, I would say, you mean with the supporting, like the repost or sharing and all that stuff?
Sharing, funding.
It's a good amount. It's more than 10 people that do that.
So why did you stop?
You're doing something good. People
I didn't stop.
Support it.
See, that's where you get it wrong. I never said I stopped. I said I'm working behind closed doors with someone right now trying to better the quality of my videos.
She's funding herself to make it a better product.
Yes,
that's what
I'm just asking a question.
People lack that. They don't do that.
I'm working with a friend right now for HBO who wants to shoot my cooking classes instead of me doing it myself, which is a lot of work. And I don't never tell people how much work I put into it, but I love what I do. I love to cook. But if I don't have to use my whole Lumi light and a camera and my own phone just to record, and I got someone that's willing to put the, I can. I have. All my classes are actually me.
But who told you that it wasn't good quality?
No one did. I chose to do something better. I chose to do something better.
The point I'm trying to make is this. Jeff Bezos started in his fucking dorm room using a computer.
And funded himself. You fund yourself back.
How much money? Do you remember the story?
Hold on. You don't just take that money and go do something else.
Slow down. He was with one friend and they started that shit from wholesale. The same thing with fucking Steve Jobs. Yeah. They started somewhere.
In a garage.
The point I'm trying to make is, yes, you need that growth. You need that support, motivation, and push to go through the whole thing. critiquing yourself, constantly making changes. You can't shit on a nigga for giving up after 2 years. Oh, I want to be a garbage man. Maybe it didn't work out. Maybe they didn't get
That
as
means
much
you don't have
money,
the
or
passion
you
to
got to
do it.
see what
You don't have the
their
passion to
goal
do
is.
it.
What was the
Okay,
goal
I
of
get where you
Kanye
coming
West?
from. I get where you coming from, but that's why I was reading this book. I'm still reading this book called Nonconformist by Adam Grant. There are some people that realize maybe this isn't my route, maybe this isn't my ballpark and stuff. But that doesn't mean that you should not try something else that maybe you are better at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had the news thing in the beginning where I was doing my news thing, and I had 5 Star helping me do that. But once I got into the news field, I started and I realized that my
You realize
emphasis in
the
my
overhead is crazy.
yeah.
So
Once I
but
got
if you
picked up, to be
passionate
honest
about
with
that,
you,
you would keep
right?
going.
I
If you're
got picked
really
up.
passionate,
I got picked
it
up
takes
just
passion.
alone off of the reels that I was doing on my own with the news show to get into the news field. So now I know there's another passion that I'm passionate about. Why does one person have to always stick with one thing? Why can't you put your cookies in different jars? You know what I'm
That's what I'm
saying?
trying to say.
That's
But KJ
great. That's
said
all great
one
and
day he
dandy.
doing this, the
That's
next day
all
they
great
doing
and
that. They never
dandy.
stick
But if
to
you
it.
want to be on that
Kanye
level,
West was a producer, rap artist, engineer. Now he's a fucking fashion mogul. He did all of it before. He did everything. He did everything he wanted to be.
Jay-Z's the
everybody's
primary
not saying
example.
that.
Same thing.
Jay-Z's
to
the
kind of jump
primary
in
example.
to kind of jump in a little bit.
We're off the
I
movement
do.
completely.
Yeah, we're way off. But to kind of jump in a little bit, to kind of like
let's start wrapping it up too.
yeah, to kind of jump on what Chanel was saying. Listen, you're definitely allowed to kind of shift your focus on anything like that. But from my perspective, it's like I've been doing stand up. I mean, in a couple weeks it'll be 11 years. I'm hitting my 11-year mark in a couple weeks, and the nature of the industry, the nature of stand up, is very solitary. So I have to do everything myself. I do most things by myself. I write my own jokes. I film my own sets. I submit everything on my own, and I could do all that, and I still probably won't make it anywhere because it's just the way it is. All I can say is that if I did have funding, support, things like that, to KJ's point, if I had support, like I'd be way farther along. Not to say people don't support me, but
No, I
if I
understand.
if I had funding for a lot of, like, the reason I don't do stand up full time is because I need a day job. If I didn't have to worry about a day job and paying rent and getting food and all that, I would be so much farther ahead.
But
Think
Dan, I
about
fund myself is what I'm trying to say
with
too.
the
Right.
thing to
I put the money in my pocket to make my
Right.
quality better.
Right.
I mean, and I have a day job as well, and sometimes it takes over me from doing my classes, which is right now. Like I got so much other stuff with the news to do,
Right.
but everything that I do, I invest in. I'm very passionate about my cooking classes. I'm very passionate about helping people and women and men that want to learn how to cook. But I am every drop, every penny goes into cookware,
Right.
more
And
stuff. I invest in myself.
that's where I give you credit and take it for myself, because I'll be honest with you, I'm my own biggest critic, and like
Me too. Yeah.
I don't put enough effort into what I want to do, and having this conversation is great because it's like, I mean, being unemployed now, like I have nothing but time, so like I'm I bought stuff to I'm gonna start a Twitch stream soon and just fucking try to crack jokes and do it. And
Yeah.
I'm learning how to do the TikTok thing because stand up is evolving and
I think you would be great on TikTok because that is really the wave. I wish I was more handy
there's
into the
just nowhere to
TikTok thing.
do it's just nowhere to do stand up now. I'm not like there's guys doing open mics at the 86th Street Q train stop, dude. Like
people
like
do stand up on Zoom
Mm-hmm.
and live stream and Twitch.
I have
There
I
you
have
go.
I do
Everybody's
it.
doing that.
I do it. I'm not happy with it. I'm much better on stage, but I have to do it because that's what's available to me.
Yeah, we're in this
But
Set up the
time right now.
stage and you can there's ways around that feeling.
no,
You
I
can get
agree.
around
I
it.
agree.
Let's wrap
But
this
what I'm
up.
All
saying
right.
is, look, think about with the right support, with the right people behind you, you can go anywhere. Despite how good you may think you are yourself, Think about all the people that are like comedians. Think about all the comedians out there that aren't really funny to you, right?
The vast majority.
When they got next to the right people, then now they're the funniest people in the world. Or what about all the great cooks that's out there that don't really know what the fuck they doing?
Let me tell you something.
Or making bologna sandwiches and shit and making it gourmet because they're doing TV, famous on TV,
let me tell you
making it the best thing. But we've been doing that shit since the projects.
Let me tell you something.
You get beside the right people, you get the right funding and push behind you. You can be anybody, anywhere.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. If you get a chance, I did an episode of Flip the Script back 2-3 years ago. We did an episode with a man named Hockey Dennis. He owns 16 pizza shops in the New York area. Anything you see, if you see Champion Pizza, that is him. He did an episode with him. He was homeless. He didn't have nobody. His fucking wife was in Canada and he couldn't even see her. He couldn't get to her. He was illegal. He was illegal in this country. He had no family, nothing. He was broke, poor, didn't have shit but a pizza job and washing dishes in the back of a restaurant. And now he owns 16 pizza shops on his own from hard fucking work. It's not about who you know. It's not about people supporting you. It's just about doing the fucking work.
But
that's all it's about. If you really are passionate about what you're doing and you put your fucking self into it and want to do it, you will get to where you're going. I promise you. I promise you.
That story will
don't look for the support. If people give it to you, thank them, and that's it. I'm telling you, he got it up. He got to the point where he got his own pizza shop with support from a friend. Watch the episode on Flip the Script. I'll send it to everybody. He got support from his friend, and that friend took the money that they were going to use to open the pizza shop and disappeared. $0. Then he had to build it back up from scratch. And he has 16 pizza shops in Manhattan right now.
That's his passion. He went for it.
This is what I'm telling you.
And there was a matter of
you can do it if you put the work in. And I don't see a lot of people putting the work in. And like what you got to be willing to die for the shit.
I will say this. There are situations where, you know, like we were talking about earlier with Black people not supporting, and to your point, KJ, you kind of have if that's your passion, you got to ignore all that shit.
You got to
let's be real.
All that shit.
Let's be real. Like maybe it's just because we're in the community, but Black people will shit on you. Black people will be the first ones.
People shit on me. Look at every Pooh in Space episode I've ever done. There's a negative comment under there with my name attached. I don't give a flying fuck. It's engagement to the fucking sponsors. I don't give a fuck what they say about me. It goes to my sponsors. Damn, they love your show. They comment on everything. I know. I don't give a flying fuck if it's negative.
When I started doing stand-up, you know how many, not just comics, but Black people in general, would shit on me because I wasn't out here humping stools and talking about Black people do this and white people do that, and I wasn't the typical Black comic. And then all of a sudden, it got a little quiet. It still happens, but a little quiet when Hannibal started getting popularity, and people were like, "Oh, you remind me of Hannibal." I was like, "All right, well, because I'm a Black guy with glasses." Like, and then he got LASIK, and nobody. I'm not Hannibal no more. I'm just whatever, but I'm a lot funnier than I used to be. But it's like that. Let's not pretend that people won't take an opportunity to, especially with the internet being the way it is, and anonymity being the way it is.
You gotta block that shit out, bro.
Every opportunity to fucking shit on you.
Fuck out.
Yeah, Stan, you gotta learn to tune in. I had to learn about that.
I know it, but block that shit out. Fuck them niggas.
Because that'll.
I would talk to them.
That'll eat you alive. I'm on the same page with Space. I don't never give a damn about what anybody say about me because I'm gonna get to where I need to get to anyway. Because that's just how driven and passionate I am about shit, no matter what. And you just gotta, as long as you know what you want to do, that's all that matters.
Well, I'll be honest with you. After almost 11 years doing this shit, I don't give a fuck anymore. I am who I am.
Right. So the moral of the story is,
keep your cell phone in your pocket if the police pull you over.
Black people are now the majority. We are the largest investors. We are the largest.
We need to be
spending money.
Realizing it. We
are the larger. So now we need to come as one. if we come together as one, and has been said for decades, for centuries, if we ever came together as one, we can take over the world.
Absolutely.
That's point blank, period. Police
Absolutely.
brutality is fucking real.
Yes.
Racist injustices are real. Cops kill
What
whoever
happened
the
in
fuck they feel
Africa?
need to. What?
That shit is over. Remember that shit that was happening in Africa?
No, that's still going on. It's just they don't get no airtime. It still goes on.
That's
Trust
crazy.
me.
A lot
I
of
got
shit.
no friends and African friends. It still goes on.
So, and how we can change, I think how we can better the police force is by hiring more like-minded people of peace and prosperity. I don't fucking know, but
that's
more African Americans,
well,
things like that.
I agree, but
Wrapping it up,
it's I'm sorry, man. Like it's just I've been arguing about arguing this point for a long time because you can't like it's just I'm just talking about from NYPD. You can't. NYPD is fucked because NYPD as just the way it's built isn't gonna change because the test is fucking super easy. They give you 5 points for living in the 5 boroughs. So what a guy from not Staten Island, from a guy from Long Island or from Westchester, what they'll do is they'll get their cousin's address in the 5 boroughs, so they get those extra 5 points. And then I think the key is if you're gonna fix anything like the NYPD as an example, if you're gonna fix the NYPD, hire people in that community. Police yourselves. If you don't police me if you don't know who I am.
I agree with that.
The NYPD Academy is 6 months long. It should be a full year. It should be a full year. The first 6 months is the same. The next 6 months, you know where you're gonna be. You know where that's your opportunity to go door to door. I don't care where you live, but go door to door. And
get to know your neighbors.
It takes both sides because the community has to trust you, but you have to gain that trust. Every officer that's going to be working in that community, you go door to door, you introduce yourself because no one's going to fucking shoot Jamal if you know who Jamal is.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to shoot nobody. You're not going to shoot nobody in the face.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a shitty example. But you're not going to shoot somebody if you know who they are.
That's a good way to look at it. Get to know your community.
That's what I'm saying. Because
you might be onto something, Stan.
That's what it used to be. The NYPD back in the day. Before I think it was before Giuliani. That's what it was. Before Dinkins and before Giuliani. That's what it was. You had these cops that lived in these neighborhoods. They knew who the
7-5 robbing the drug dealers. Like
right. You had the seven. No, none of those guys lived in New York. They were from Suffolk County.
Yeah,
they're from Suffolk County. Those guys. So, like, if I know you, if you're a cop and I know you, and you know me, and like that holds you accountable, that holds me accountable. I'm not out here like fucking doing dirt because I know the fucking officer. What's his face? He knows me, my mom, my dad. And officer, what's his face is less likely to feel powerful enough to rob a drug dealer, to rob anybody else, because he knows people know who he is. We know where you live. We know where you live. We know you're doing dirt. And then all of a sudden, Giuliani came in, Dinkins came in, and I'm not gonna absolve Dinkins, but Dinkins made it incredibly easy to become a cop, and it blew up. And now you have thousands of cops that are on the job just because the days of cops being underpaid is gone. People, like, I had this argument with my cousin's mom years ago, and she's like, I was thinking about becoming a cop, and she was like, cops don't make money. I was like, are you insane?
Right.
Base salary without overtime for a cop at 5.5 years. Base salary is $90,000 a year. $90,000 a year. And where does that money go? Back to Suffolk County and Westchester and Long Island, where they're paying property taxes. Their tax money, taxpayer money isn't going back where it belongs.
I'm about to wrap this up, Stan.
Yeah, wrap it up.
I get real passionate about stuff like that because, and then you talk about cops, you talk about schools. Why are schools the way they are? Because property taxes determine what schools get funding. You look at certain neighborhoods and I'm sorry, man, I'm all over the place. But
just let it go, Stan. Let it go.
No, we need a different discussion about that. But Stan is on the right path when it comes to that.
Well, what's the next movie we're watching? What's the next movie?
Why is it that my property tax determines how much money per student gets invested? You look at Roslyn in Long Island, one of the richest neighborhoods in the country, has the best schools in the country.
Not in America.
I thought we already discussed the movie we was gonna watch, and I thought it was The Little Things.
I watched that.
Oh, I tried to watch that.
I watched that.
I watched Greenland yesterday, and I told Space Ghost how mad
I
I
just
was
watched
about
Train
that
to
movie.
Busan too.
Train to Busan's good.
No,
Train to
part two.
Busan Part 2.
Oh, really? Where's that?
Peninsula.
Where's Train to Busan 2?
It's all right.
What is it? It's on Netflix.
Train to Busan, the sequel.
Yeah, I know, but what is it on?
Oh, I just bought it. It's rented.
We should do the little
like
things
$3.
though.
The Little
The
Things.
Little
is
The
good.
little
Things.
things.
Did you guys watch One Night in Miami?
No, I couldn't watch it. It was trash.
He tried it over the weekend.
Can we do something else? What else is
Wait,
coming
wait.
out?
Hold on.
Little
Hold on.
things.
The Little
Did you guys
Things was
see it?
good. Greenland. I
It was
don't know if
okay.
anybody saw
It was
that.
okay.
What's Greenland about?
It's about this man who. It's about basically this meteor that's coming to end the world, and this man gets recruited with his wife and kid, but they get lost in translation, I guess, and trying to
Deep
find.
Impact. I'm about to
Deep
watch this
Impact.
movie right now
Oh, wow.
called The Silencing. It came out in 2020. It's about a reformed hunter and a sheriff who are caught in a deadly game of cat and mouse when they set out on a track to kill her who may have kidnapped their children or their daughter.
We should watch Isle of Dogs.
Called The Silencing. I tried to watch that Chinese movie
so
and that
good.
shit was trash.
What?
The Silencing, I think
Isle of Dogs is trash?
Isle of Dogs is trash. Visually awesome,
crazy?
but the concept was fucking dumb.
Are you crazy?
Don't Listen.
Huh?
Don't Listen. Did anybody see that movie?
I seen Don't Listen.
Yeah.
What was that? Which one was that one?
That was about the creepy home where the fly gets in your ear and you do crazy things to kill people. It's a whole bunch of stuff, but
I didn't see that.
All right, so what are we gonna agree on, guys, so I can wrap this up for us?
The Silencing. Don't Listen.
No, we gotta choose one.
I'm about to watch The Silencing right now. It's got 4.5 stars. It's
We
on
don't
Netflix.
care about that.
Do American
I mean,
Pickle.
it's on Prime. It's free.
All right, y'all want to do the
Pickle?
Silencing? What?
Did y'all see An American Pickle?
No.
I haven't saved. I haven't watched it yet.
Let's watch that. Cram, you saw that?
The American Pickle. Who's in that? Is that
It's a Seth Rogen movie.
All right, yeah, we could lighten it up with a funny movie.
Okay.
All right, The American Pickle. That's what we are going to agree on.
What is that
Everyone,
It's on HBO.
Everyone, thanks for tuning in. We know it was a little lengthy, and we know we kind of got off track with
all
the
way
thing.
off the track.
We got all the way off the track, but a lot of things that's what brings us here with some realization of what's going on in society. But when you're passionate about something, just go for it. Don't let nobody tell you not to. And if we're equally just gonna try to come together, then we all need to be on the same page. And sometimes you got to go to desperate measures to get your point across. And sometimes that's a need for a change, and sometimes it works. But we'll see you next week.
It's a good
and
thing
we
to
are
start Black History Month with, though.
And Black History Month, we did. We started Black History Month with American
the
Skin.
12th. When's the 12th? Okay.
Next week.
After we do American Pickle, we'll do Judas, the Black Messiah.
Oh yeah, I wanted to see that. I actually wanted to see that.
Friday.
That comes out
I wanted to see that.
That premieres on HBO Max.
Yeah.
All right. So we will see you guys next week. Thank you for tuning in. We know it was a little lengthy, but thank you for, I'm glad you are all, tuning in, and we'll see you next week. We'll see you next week as we go over, what is it, the pickle? The American pickle?
The American Pickle.
The American pickle. Lighten up some load, get a little laugh. Get a little laughs, and we'll see you next week, everyone. It's Nels, Instagram, ITS, NELOZ, @1_ Space Ghost.
I'm Space Ghost.
Cram.
It's Cram, 2 M's on IG. My page is private. I'm going to make it public today, but I'll look out to you guys. Thanks for having me again.
And Funny Man Stan is exactly what it is.
It's me.
Funny Man Stan. STAN.
All one word.
All
I do
one
want
word.
to say, my closing remarks is that I love coming together, talking with you guys about such passionate topics, and I appreciate all the feedback. I'm definitely taking it in, and I use it every day in my life. and I refer to you guys all the time when it comes to these kind of things. So thank you for having me as a guest co-star, I guess you could say, co-host.
You want to be a part of the show, just say it. Man.
So I do want to be a part of you guys' thumbnail, or would you say like album art? Because that shit is fire.
If you're part of the nobodies, these are the nobodies, so we part of them nobodies, man.
Yeah, like a what'd you say, like a, how would you say, like a honorary member? How you doing? All right.
Can you just get a good picture of me this time, Space Ghost, when you post the video?
All right, let's take a picture right now. All right, picture right now.
What?
Picture.
No, I'm saying when you always
post a bad picture of
our
me,
show.
Space. I was like, what the fuck?
No, when he always posts the videos of our show, he gets me in the most awkward faces where I look like so ugly.
All right, hold on. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Thumbnail.
3, 2, 1. All right, cool.
I love you.
All right, thank you.
Anyway, I love you guys. See you next week, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. The American Pickle. Be ready to laugh. Be ready for some feedback. Give us the comments. See you later next week. Bye.